Hey everyone, Felipe here. Welcome to another Tower of Saviors card review video. In this video, I'll be taking a look at the 1% jackpot card from the Gintama collaboration seal, Gintoki Sakata, as well as his power release form. I'll be letting you know my thoughts and opinions about his leader skill, team skill, as well as active skills for both forms, and letting you know whether I think he is worth pulling or not for this collaboration seal. So starting off with his first Gintoki Sakata form, his leader skill is going to be attack times 7 and HP and recovery times 1.6 for Gintama members and water members. By dissolving two groups of 3 or more runestones, team attack increases by 3.5 additionally, and skill cooldowns of Yorosuya members will decrease by 2 after entering a stage. Taking a look at his team skill, we can see that he gets an additional 4 seconds of runestone movement time when the leader is Gintoki Sakata and the ally is another Yorosuya member. Additionally, water runestones possess the effect of other runestones. At the beginning and at the end of each round, turn the top and bottom runestones of the column below each Gintama member into enchanted water human runestones. The fewer steps moved while moving runestones, the higher the team attack, to the max of times 5 if you move less than 10 steps. However, when the step count is less than 5, Yorosuja members get an additional times 4 attack bonus, and damage will be dealt regardless of fixed combo shield. If you move more than 5 steps, damage received will be reduced by 50%, and skill cooldowns of Gintama members will be reduced by 1. No steps are counted when you activate a skill that gives you unlimited runestone movement time, not counting as first round. So for example, that is going to be the Dark non-jackpot card, has a skill like that, and North, the Earth Demon also has a skill like that, but she doesn't really work in a Gintama team, or Gintoki team. He also gets the other Yorosuya bonuses from having Kagura in the team and Shinpachi Shimura in the team, where you have Runestone Position effect, and you have the Yorosuya special, which is where if you have 3 or more Yorosuya members, you get a stat bonus of 1.6 times for HP, attack, and recovery, as well as a skill CD reduction of -4 after entering the stage. My opinions about him is actually as a leader, he is very underwhelming, especially for a 1% jackpot card. He is good for one thing, and that is going to be speedruns. For speedruns, you are able to just spin once, spin once, spin once, and because he has the top and bottom row with water runestones, it will be easier for you to just beat a stage really fast. However, for harder levels and uh, other harder stages like ultimate stages and nightmare stages, I think that as a leader, he is absolutely really, really bad. And I honestly, for a 1% jackpot card, I believe that his normal form is really weak, which means that his power release form is actually really good, and I do recommend his power release form. However, the leader skill for his original form is only suited for speedrunning. This is because if you encounter a traffic light rune, if you encounter sticky runes, if you encounter high combo shield, if you encounter the character rune, traffic light, if you encounter other things that you need to move or things that you need to move more than 5 steps, basically your team attack is going to suffer and your damage output is going to be really low. Dissolving two groups of more than 3 runestones, yes, you have the top and bottom row, but if there's an enemy that blocks conversion, then you also don't have these two groups, and then you have to move more than 10 steps, and you will also suffer um, a reduction in your damage output. Basically, this is going to be the opposite of Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus, the more steps you take, the higher your attack. However, for Tower of Saviors, a game that really relies on you making combos and also making stacking and having high combos, the fact that you have a limit of less than 5 steps for your maximum damage output is actually really, really restrictive, and also not really good for harder levels where you actually need to stack your runes to get rid of them, or you need to prepare your board, and also that is going to take more than 10 steps. Additionally, this conversion of both the top and bottom row, yes, they give you a lot of attacking runes, but it can also convert away things that you need. So if you need to break Quintet Elemental Shield, this is getting rid of 2 rows of runestones that you might be able to use to break the shield in conventional ways. And because of that, you might need to bring in utility card or a dragon craft that will help you break these shields instead. Also, if you encounter an enemy that is first like water nullifying skill, so whenever you do a water combo in the first batch, it nullifies your attack. That means you're also spending more than 10 steps breaking up those 2 rows of water runes so that you don't trigger the enemy's counter attack. And also you're gonna suffer from not being able to hit your max damage output. And also if you encounter enemies that block you from dissolving water runes, you're generating a lot of water runes, so that is also going to be a hard counter for Gintoki as a leader. So overall, yes, he has pretty good damage output multipliers, but they are very restrictive, and only if you are able to finish moving within 5 steps, which means that he will be really good as a speed run team. So it might be good. Yeah, it's good for speed runnings where you just have to move one rune, move one rune, move one rune, and that way you can get your max damage output and also kill enemies. But once you factor in hard to break shields and really annoying enemy skills, that's when Gintoki will struggle a little bit as a leader. Yes, he can break fixed combo shield, but there are other shields in the game that will be really hard for him to break unless you have a specific utility card that breaks it. So overall, I do think that this 1% jackpot card leader skill is one of the less useful ones, let's say, in my opinion. Also, his attack bonus is times 7. Meanwhile, Kagura and the other Shimura is times 8, which, it seems to me like Madhead designed him with the intention that only his power release leader skill will be useful. Which, I mean, it's okay. It's a strategy, but I would have also made his non-power release form a little bit better. But that's just my opinion. Now let's take a look at his active skill. His active skill is CD8 and has the following effect. You can choose an image to turn all runestones according to the current setup. So either all just water and heart runes or water and fire runes, or you can also just generate all 6 attributes or 6 types of runestones on the board. Additionally, for 1 round, the character's attack increases by 4 times, and the character's damage will be dealt regardless of defense and equal combo shield. So this skill actually covers some of the weaknesses of his leader skill. However, it is CD8, so it is going to be a little bit harder to activate, and it's going to take time to activate it. So if you encounter any of these shields in the first few rounds, you still have to wait quite a bit to activate your skill, even if he has this skill cooldown reduction from his Yorosuya special team skill. However, overall, the skill is pretty good. You can either choose a water and heart configuration, or if you cannot dissolve heart runes, you can do a water and fire configuration. Or if you need to break quintet elemental shields or trio elemental shields, you can always just choose the last configuration to generate all attributes on the board. So I think his active skill is pretty good, although it is going to be pretty slow, CD8, but also has additional utility where you can break defense and also break equal combo shields. And that comes into play. You can break equal combo shields with a third configuration, but you can also double up with more attacking runes, and you can still deal damage without worrying about the equal combo shield. So overall, the Gintoki Sakaka form leader skill, in my opinion, is one of the weakest 1% jackpot card leader skills, but his active skill is good. Good as a member because it breaks equal combo shields and not that many cards can do that in the game, but it is going to be pretty slow at CD8. But yeah, now let's take a look at his Shiroyasha form, which in my opinion is a definitely worth power releasing because definitely has the necessary attributes and stats to make use of, or definitely worth for a 1% jackpot card. And I feel like maybe it should have been designed this way first, but that's just my opinion. So for power release form, we have Shiroyasha Gintoki Sakata. His leader skill is also team attack times 7, HP and recovery times 1.7. By dissolving a group of 3 or more runestones, team attack increases by 4 times, and single attack becomes full attack. Skills cooldowns of humans will be reduced by 1 after entering the stage, and by dissolving runestones of the members' attributes, team attack increases by 1.7 additionally. Additionally, for his team skill, we have an extended runestone movement time of 7 seconds regardlessly. All runestones touched while moving are turned into enchanted runes. All runestones possess the effect of other runestones, or attributive runestones. This is a 100% effect. The first damage received each round will not lead to your defeat. If current HP is less than 50% after runestone movement, the attack of Shiroyasha Gintoki Sakata increases by 1.7 and combo count increases by 17. If your current HP is 1 before runestone movement, by dissolving 6 types of runestones in that round, you are able to dodge the first attack of each enemy. And then we have the Yorosuya special, basically, but you need Kotaro Katsura, Shinsuke Takasugi, and Tatsumasa Kawamoto in the team, and you get a 1.5 increase to HP attack and recovery, and also a skill cooldown reduction of -4 after entering this stage. So that was a lot to go through, but in my opinion, this leader skill is an absolute upgrade and a better leader skill, especially for a 1% jackpot card. Team attack times 7, still a little bit lower than Kagura and the other jackpot card, but it makes up with all the utility that he has in his team skill. He also has a times 4 attack bonus by dissolving a very easy condition, which is a group of 3 or more runestones. Basically, this is just any regular combo will trigger this times 4 attack, which is great. And by dissolving runestones of the members' attributes, this is also not first batch, so if you stack runes, you are also able to benefit from this 1.7 team attack bonus. So it is also a really easy condition to hit. Additionally, 7 seconds of extended runestone movement time, really welcome. It's really good and helps you build your board faster. It gets rid of the step count, which definitely helps because that step count is a little bit troll, and maybe that's the reason why they designed it, because Gintama is a little bit of a troll anime of sorts. But anyways, turning runestones into enchanted runestones is really good because this helps you get rid of weakened runes and muck runes just by moving through them. Also mask runes just by moving through them. And it helps you counter like enemies that mask your entire board or enemies that weaken your entire board. Just by moving through them, you are able to get rid of them. So that is a really good bonus. Doesn't really add much to damage, but it does help you get rid of some annoying debuffs whenever they happen. Runestone possession effect, it is 100% possession, so you are going to see pretty good. You can definitely run rainbow teams. But the meat and potatoes is that the first damage you receive each round will not lead you to your defeat, and there is no HP requirement for this. Your HP doesn't need to be full. For example, for elves, your tumbler effect only activates if your HP is full. For other ones, yeah, if your HP is less than 50%, then you don't die or things like that. There is no HP requirement, so the first damage you take will not lead to your defeat, meaning that you will be at 1 HP if you take damage from a really powerful enemy. And if your HP is at 1, your HP is going to be less than 50%. And your HP is also going to be 1 before runestone movement, which means that you are able to trigger these two effects, which are also really welcome as well. 1.7 attack for Shiroyasha Gintoki, not bad, it's an additional attack. However, the really good one is going to be a combo count increase of plus 17. This is going to help you break a lot of high combo shields and also give you more recovery and more attack. And by dissolving 6 types of runestones in that round, you can dodge the first attack of each enemy, and that is also going to be a really good quality of life. So basically, Shiroyasha Gintoki is going to be a really tanky and high damage output card, high output leader. and that is going to be a really good leader for him. Also, he loses the team requirements, so now you have access to every single card in the game. You want to run some humans to reduce their cooldowns, but in terms of attack multipliers, everyone is able to benefit from every single attack multiplier, which means that you have access to all the cards in the game, and that is going to make him a really flexible leader. He also loses some of the Yorosuya team skills, which means that you aren't really that incentivized to run Yorosuya members. So you can run like anything that you want. You can run Tsuyo, you can run Iron Fan Princess. All the black gold cards that you have, you can add him to a Shiroyasha Gintoki team without any downsides, because he does not have the requirement of running anything else in the team, and you can still benefit from that. So overall, I think Shiroyasha is going to be a better leader than his original form, and definitely just because of that, it's already worth power releasing. Now let's take a look at his active skill. We have a CD7 active skill, and in my opinion, this active skill is going to be really busted and a really good active skill. Basically, upon skill activation, you will record whatever board you have. Let's call that board X. Team recovery becomes 0, but that's usually not bad. Damage received from burning and step damage will be lowered to 1. Also, Shiroyasha Gintoki launches an extra non-attributive attack, and the end of the round, turn all runestones into water, fire, earth, light, dark, and heart, and this skill stays in play until deactivation or defeated, which means that every single round you're going to have all 6 attributes, all 6 types of runestones on the board. Your recovery is going to be 0, but remember, Shiroyasha is not defeated by the first attack of each enemy, which means that you are going to be able to benefit from his team skill over and over again, and you can also dodge attacks because you are generating all 6 types of runes in the first batch. Let's see. So it says by dissolving 6 types of runes in that round. So even if there's a combo nullifying enemy or a Trojan enemy, you can stack the runes and you can still benefit from the dodging attack skill. So honestly, the fact that you are generating all 6 attributes, all 6 types of runestones every round is really powerful, because you can break equal combo shields, you can break quintet elemental shields, trio elemental shields, things like that. And if you encounter something that you don't want, you can always deactivate it, because the skill can be deactivated anytime. And you explore all runes and you return your board, the X, like board X that you recorded in the first round, and your current HP will become 40% of your total HP, which means that you can still benefit from the 50% HP skill, but you can also generate a new board if you don't really want it. So for example, you can activate Tsuyo and have your fixed board of just water, fire, and earth runes, or like Pompeii or one of those cards. Activate Shiroyasha, it will record that position, and whenever you need that board of just water, fire, and earth, you can deactivate your skill and get that board back. And honestly, CD7 for a skill like this, it's going to be really powerful. And definitely, even as a member, it is going to be also really good. You can potentially run this in a Lilith team, because Lilith will generate Skydrop. If you have all 6 attributes, you can basically choose which attribute you want to Skydrop. And also, Lilith doesn't care about a 0 team recovery, because you can heal up without even needing to have any recovery. So honestly, Shiroyasha is going to be a good member as well, but also have an amazing active skill that really complements his leader skill as well. So in my opinion, I think Shiroyasha Gintoki is definitely worth getting. In my opinion, he might be one of the stronger leaders in the current meta, because of the survivability, the attack bonuses, the flexibility in team building, as well as the active skills of being able to generate all 6 type of runestones, so you have a dodge and you have a tumbler effect at the same time. All these things together will make him a really good leader that survives a lot, and because all the utility that he has, you can also add members to break shields. That is one of the things that he doesn't really have, is shield breaking potential in his team skills. But if you bring, since you have access to all the cards in the game, you can always just bring really good utility cards that will help you cover all your bases. But yeah, is it worth getting him or waiting for the next Black Gold or next collaboration? I think he is definitely worth getting. If you have the resources for him, I think he is worth obtaining, but do so during rate up so that you're not wasting too many of your diamonds for him. I do think he might be good to... You might also want to run normal Gintoki with him. So run normal Gintoki in a Shiroyasha team because of the equal combo shield thing, but not really. I mean, Shiroyasha himself is already a pretty good leader in my opinion. But in terms of, if you only have one Gintoki, I say power release him because he is going to be a really good leader. And original Gintoki doesn't really add too much. There are cards that can replace him. Meanwhile, Shiroyasha, I think this skill is one of a kind and definitely one of the more powerful skills that I've seen in a collaboration card. But yeah, overall, really, really good leader, good survivability, good team building potential with a lot of flexibility in the members, and also good survivability. But yeah, good active skill as well. So definitely a card that is going to be fun to play and really worth getting in your inventories. That being said, if you don't have the diamonds and you don't have the resources and financial resources for it, I would say you can save until for the next collaboration, because as always, this is a gacha game. They will always release better and new cards in the future. So this card might be really good now, but it might be power crept in the future. So don't sacrifice your financial well-being for this momentary card. But if you have the resources, if you have been saving diamonds for it, I do think this is a good card to spend it on because it is a pretty good leader and doesn't really rely on the other collaboration cards that came out with him, as opposed to other collaborations where you are tied to that specific collaboration. This card actually opens up your team building with other possibilities as well. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about Shiroyasha as well as original Gintoki. And yeah, please let me know in the comments if I said anything wrong or if I missed anything. As always, stay tuned on my YouTube channel for more Tower Saviors content. But for now, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone!